loads nothing. I'm burning myself. Okay. Oops, I have to do this. I really like to do this music.
So what? They never connect.
It's working so great at my house.
It's because it's the Wi-Fi, because it's on Bluetooth.
Do you have to be on Wi-Fi to have Bluetooth?
Well, to connect the two, yeah.
Do you need my Wi-Fi? Cause I've been over at the
The other place that it's worked.
yeah, I've been like out in the park and different things and at work.
Oh yeah, you used it at my house.
Cause this, yeah, and this doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi. Well, what's your Wi-Fi, Alexa?
Let's have a look.
The Taglia one,
Of course.
and then soccer 1304.
Ooh, it connected. We're good. Is there a
Capital.
Capital?
The S is a capital. Sorry.
okay. I'm gonna put that on anyway so that I can play my music because that wasn't gonna work. Oh, it's a disaster. Okay. Here we go. What in business? Okay. What? I want to see a lot. A little loud. What do you think?
Good.
Okay. Okay. Everyone come to Sukhasana at the front of your mat. Comfortable seated position. Palms can rest face up or face down on the lap. Let the eyes close. And just begin to tune into the breath here. To what the breath is naturally doing. There's nothing that you need to do here. Just simply notice. Is the breath deep? Or is it shallow? Without analyzing why, just see if you can simply notice what's going on in your breath and in your body. And every time the mind wanders, which it naturally will, bring it back to the breath over and over again. The mind wanders. the hands to the chest. And noticing the same thing here. Every inhale, the chest rises. And every exhale, the chest falls. And now returning the hands once more to the belly, we'll start with the first part of our breath. So in the 3-part breath, we think of a glass of water and a glass of water being filled. And the water first goes into the bottom of the glass, and then it fills the middle of the glass, and then it fills the top of the glass. And as you pour the water out of the glass, it empties from the top, and then the middle, and then the bottom. So we'll move through our breath in the same way. So we'll feel the low belly expand as we inhale and exhale. Next, we'll expand the low belly as we inhale, and then the ribs, and then exhale the ribs and the belly. We'll move all the way up. Inhale the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Exhale, release the chest, the ribs, and the belly. Inhale the belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Let the hands rest and move through this 3-part breath at your own pace for a few rounds. Allowing this breath to flow like a steady wave rather than individual parts. Letting it flow together with ease. And then letting go of this, returning to the natural breath. The next breath practice we'll try out is called Ujjayi breath. And this is our yoga breath that we want to keep with us throughout our whole practice, throughout every movement. We want to have these deep inhales and deep exhales. And to learn this type of breath, one of the ways that we try is to pretend that we have a window or a mirror that we're trying to fog up. And so you open your mouth and you sort of whisper into the window or the mirror, whatever it is in front of you. And you're fogging this up. So take a deep inhale and then mouth open, fog up the window. Try it once more. And then let that go. This time, we'll try to fog up the window again, but we'll keep our mouth closed. So the same action of fogging up the window, but try it with your mouth closed. It's a little funny, but the breath will exit through your nose, and you'll make sort of that same whisper sound with the constriction in the back of your throat. So inhale, and then fog it up. So it sort of sounds like Darth Vader, or it sounds like the ocean. Beautiful. And you can try to keep this little constriction. It's very subtle. This little constriction in the back of your throat during the inhale too. And it's a little bit more difficult and kind of can feel like you're choking sometimes. So you may just want to do it on the exhales if that's what you're comfortable with. But just try it and see how it feels in your body today. And then at any moment throughout practice, see if you can return to this breath. See if you can remember just a few times to come back to this deep breath, to slow the heart rate, to slow the mind. So if the eyes are closed, we can flutter the eyes open. And we'll take the hands, clasp them together in our heart, and press them away from our body, arching the spine, finding a nice stretch throughout the back. And then bringing the palms back toward us and flipping the palms away this time, and lifting the palms up to the ceiling. Hands fall over to the right, feeling a stretch in the left side of the body. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. And then roll the hands down. Clasping the hands behind your back this time. Clasped hands come over to the right hip. Perfect. So then we'll take our right ear over toward our right shoulder. Feeling stretching the left side of the neck. And then we'll shift the clasped hands over to the left hip this time. Left ear to the left shoulder. Feeling that stretch in the right side of the neck. And then we'll unclasp the hands and take the arms to a cactus. Left elbow sweeps in and right elbow sweeps under it. Either back of the palms connect or maybe twist a little bit further and the palms connect. And then we'll take the elbows and push them away and up. Feeling a stretch between the shoulder blades. And then we'll take the arms back out to a cactus. Right arm comes in first this time. Left arm sweeps under. Back of the hands or palms connect. Elbows away and up from the body. Arms come back out to a cactus and then release to the sides. Switch the cross of your legs here just for a little balance. And then we'll take the arms up overhead. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, heart center. One more. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, heart center. And finally, we'll sweep up. Inhale, and then twist over toward the right. So left hand comes to right knee. Right hand comes behind the body. Find length in the spine. Reach up toward the ceiling. And just twist gently here. Nothing too intense. On the next inhale, sweep back up to center. Exhale over to the left. The back hand is nice and close to the body to find a length in the spine. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale, release. We'll swing the legs back and behind us and find our way to a standing position at the top of our mat. Palms face forward. Lift all 10 toes here and feel all 4 corners of the feet. The pinky knuckle and the big toe knuckle and the 2 sides of the heels. And then spread the toes nice and wide and plant all 10 toes back down on the mat. Feeling the sense of stability that this creates in your feet. Lifting the kneecaps to engage the quads. Tucking the tailbone, engaging the core. Shoulders roll Watch the palms connect. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back. Right knee down, right toes down. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, hands back to the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Step back to plank. Lower knees, chest and shin, all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift the chest, baby cobra. Exhale, through all fours to downward facing dog. Send the hips back. Bend the knees here for our first downward dog of class. Finding a length in the spine. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Inhale, the right foot swoops forward this time. Back knee down, back toes down. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Inhale, the back foot steps up to meet the front foot. And we inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, sweep up, gaze up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. Step both feet back, high plank. And exhale, we'll lower this time knees, chest and shin, all the way to the belly. And then we'll lift the chest on an inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, through all fours, downward facing dog. Send the hips back. Take 5 breaths here. Bending the knees if you need to. Pressing into the base knuckle of the index fingers. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. On the next exhale, gaze between the hands. Step to meet the hands and arrive on the inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step both feet back, high plank. This time lower either knees, chest, chin, or hug the elbows in for chaturanga. And then lift the heart. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find length in the spine. 5 breaths here. Shoulders rotate away from the ears. And we find length in the spine. Take one more breath here. On the next exhale, gaze between the hands. Step to meet the hands. Arrive on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, heart center. Reroot the feet here. Lift the toes. Plant them down wide. Feel the sense of grounding. Connect to the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, for chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Beautiful. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, what's one to do? Left foot sweeps forward. That's the same one. Switch, right, quick switch, right foot sweeps forward. That's switch, right. Right foot's forward, we inhale, rise up, warrior one, back heel sits down. Exhale, handspring the foot for chaturanga or knee flexion. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. At any time, taking child's pose if this becomes too much. If you've lost connection to the breath, press into my feet. Taking 2 more breaths here. On the next exhale, gaze between the hands, step to meet the hands, arrive on the inhale, sweep the arms up, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, stand up, Samasthiti. Take a breath here. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Make sure you can see your 10 toes over the knees. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back. Inhale, lift up, warrior one, sweep the back heel down. Square the hips. Exhale, fold. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, the right foot steps forward. I did that last time too. Inhale, the other foot steps forward and we rise up for warrior one on the opposite side. Exhale, down to the mat for chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths here. Connect to the breath. If at any moment you lose connection to the breath, take a step back. Take a step out of the pose. You can still do the pose, but with a little bit less effort, maybe. Notice what's happening in your own body. On the next exhale, gaze between the hands. Step or jump to meet the hands. And arrive on the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, hands heart center. We'll flow for our vinyasa once more, arriving down dog. So inhale, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Take the vinyasa of your choice. So moving either straight to down dog or through chaturanga. Listen to your body. Honor your body. From down dog, we'll sweep the right foot forward between the hands. Back heel spins down at a 45-degree angle. Pressing through that pinky edge of the back foot and lifting up, warrior one. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Hips square to the front. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Front knee steps over the ankle. So, perfect. And it can even go behind the ankle just so long as it's not in front of the ankle. Squaring the hips toward me. Finding a smile. Exhale, open roll up and then back down away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Maybe finding some movement back and forth, and then finally resting where it feels like you're perfectly in the center. Inhale and exhale the hands back down to frame the foot. Step back through high plank and either chaturanga or straight down dog. Once again, listening to your body, honoring your body. Take 3 breaths here. Rooting through the base, knuckle of the index finger. Inhale, this time the left foot forward. Between the hands, spin the back heel down and lift up for warrior 1. Hands come overhead. Hips square toward the front. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Press into that pinky edge of the back foot. If you look at the front knee, you should be able to see that big toe and just to the side of the knee. So the knee is not collapsing in or falling out. It's just directly tracking forward. One more breath here. And exhale, open to warrior 2. Shoulders come up and then back and down away from the ears. Shooting energy through both fingertips. Gazing over the front fingertips. Slightly tucking the tailbone. And exhale, the hands cartwheel back down to the mat and flow through your vinyasa to find down dog. Taking child pose at any moment. Find the breath here. Notice if the breath has become deep or shallow, fast or slow. See if you can find that Ujjayi breath once again. This time we'll inhale the right foot between the hands and rise up to warrior 1. Back heel spins down. Root through the outer edge of the pinky toes and the back foot. Square the hips toward me. Shoulders drop away from the ears. See if you can squeeze the arms up toward the head without bringing the shoulders toward the ears. So shoulders stay relaxed, but the arms have lots of energy shooting up toward the sky. We'll inhale here. And exhale, open warrior 2. As we shift from warrior 1 to warrior 2, the back foot might come to a bit more of an angle, almost to 90 degrees. Feel it out in your body. The front heel should be in line with the arch of the back foot. And then slightly tuck the tailbone, shoulders away from the ears. See if you can notice if the arms are at a perfect T or if one is dropping. And then see if you can sink just a little bit deeper. We'll inhale, bend the front arm to 90 degrees. Exhale, the elbow comes to that knee. Back arm sweeps down and overhead to find a extended side angle. Finding space between the shoulder and the ear. So pressing into this shoulder to find space here. We'll circle this down. Find an opening in the side body. See if you can take this palm back toward me this way. One more breath here. On the next inhale, we'll reverse our warrior. So that top hand anchors us and pulls us back. Back hand finds the back leg. Find an opening in the front side body. Beautiful, beautiful. Tucking the tailbone. Bending into that front knee just a little bit more. For one more breath. And then energy shooting out in both directions. See how far you can reach through both fingertips. Make your arms a little bit longer. Check your feet to see that the front heel lines up with the back arch of the foot. And maybe you sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. Shoulders strap away from the ears. We'll inhale, bend the front arm to 90 degrees. Exhale, place the elbow on the knee and take the back arm and sweep it down toward the floor and then overhead. That top palm, so let's see if we can turn it back. Yep, that's right. Make sure my directions are right. So if we sweep this way, yep, just let me do it. Relax. And then back. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Relaxing the shoulders. On the next inhale, we'll take anchor from that top hand and lift us to reverse our warrior. Right hand, yep, right hand comes to the back leg, left hand overhead. Find a stretch in the side, left side body. Lean into that front knee. Root through the pinky edge of the back foot. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll exhale the hands back down to the mat and flow through our vinyasa one last time. Finding down dog. Connecting with the breath. Taking child's pose if you need it. Honoring your body. See if the hips can shoot back up and further. Very nice. Well, on the next exhale, we'll gaze between the hands, step to meet the hands, and arise on an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Find the breath here. Lift all 10 toes, spread them wide, plant them wide. Find the sense of stability once again. On the next inhale, we'll take a big step with our right foot toward the back of the mat and take a quarter turn to the right. So all 10 toes face that long edge of our mat. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Legs are wide. Alexa, you can take even like one little step wider. There you go. I think it'll make it a little bit easier. The toes might turn in just slightly. Hands come to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale, find length up through the spine. So reaching the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then exhale, begin to fold forward. Knees track straight in front of you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press into that pinky edge of both feet, lifting the arches. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. On the next inhale, as if someone's holding your hands and it's going to pull you back up. So we'll inhale up to standing. Exhale, hands come back to the hips. We'll turn all 10 toes to the back side of our mat and then inhale. Exhale, hands come to a T. Come this way. And on the next exhale, we just did an exhale, but we'll take an inhale. And an exhale, lean as far forward as you can. And then let the right hand come to the shin. Left Slowly grounding into the back foot a little bit more. Spiraling the chest open. Press in my hand. Press in my hand. Take one more breath here. And inhale all the way back up to standing. Inhale, feet back, or all 10 toes to the center. And exhale, hands over to the front of the mat this time. Hands return to a T. Inhale. Exhale, lean all the way forward as far as you can before falling down. Left hand falls to the left shin. Right hand scoots all the way up tall toward the ceiling. Energy shooting through that right hand. Grounding into both feet evenly. And letting the chest spiral open. Press in my hand. Take one more breath. And inhale all the way back up to standing. Take an inhale and return to the top of the mat, Samastiti. Reroot the feet here. Notice how the body's feeling. Is it steady? Is it balanced? Is there a difference in size? And we'll take all the weight into the left foot this time. So start to take the right foot either to the tiptoes or slightly start to lift the right foot off. And we'll take that right foot and cross it over the left. So if you can even kind of hook your toes onto that calf. Don't do it if you can't do it. But that's what we're striving for, is to finally kind of tug those toes, I can't even do it. Tug those right toes around the left calf. Arms come to a cactus. Hang out here for a little bit of stability and balance. Then we'll take the left elbow in, right elbow sweeps under, back of the palms or the fingers to palms connect, and then sink into that knee. Elbows come away from the body. Oh, I can't do it. We have a rule, if you fall, you have to laugh. Gosh, I'm having trouble doing this one today. Comes and goes day to day. On the next exhale, release, shake out the legs, shake out the hands, reroot the feet. Start putting all of the weight into the right foot this time. Spread all those toes, find a nice steady base, and then lift that left foot off the ground. Crossing the left leg over the right, and maybe hooking the toes around the back of the calf. Hands come to a cactus. Finding balance and stability here. Right arm comes in this time, left arm sweeps under, back of the palms, or what do you call that? Front of the palms? Front of the palms connect. And sink into that knee. Find a spot to focus on. Something that's not moving, preferably. This little focus spot is called drishti in yoga. How would we say drishti?
Drishti. Oh.
Wow, I can't do this side either. You guys are better than me. You should be teaching me. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release that. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms. Spread all 10 toes. Find a sense of balance and stability in these. And we'll come all the way down to the mat. So however you want to do that, sit and we'll end up on our bellies. So you can swing the legs behind you. And then our bellies. I'm going to teach you something I can do. You're good. Come to the belly. Hands can come back by the sides. And we'll clasp the hands behind us. Seeing if you can connect the palms here in this clasped hands. Yep. Perfect. So on an inhale, we'll lift the chest and lift the toes off the mat. Maybe you can lift the gaze to a few inches in front of you. Find the breath here. Don't lose the breath. This breath is an easy one to hold our breath, or this pose is an easy one to hold our breath. Let's see if you can keep breathing. One more. And relax down to the mat. Let the right cheek fall to the mat. Maybe wiggle the hips side to side if that feels good. And then returning the gaze to center, clasping your hands if they're not. Here we go. We got a doggy problem. Clasping the hands on a big inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the gaze, lifting the toes, squeezing the legs together. You're okay.
You just let her out.
Yeah. Sorry. Wow, you guys are superstars. Okay, relax. Left cheek back down to the mat.
That was comfy.
Wiggle the hips side to side if that feels good. Okay, we'll just do that one more time since you guys held that for so long, and we'll make it a little bit shorter one. Clasp the hands behind the back. Return the gaze to center. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, lift the toes. Squeeze the legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. See if you can lift 1 inch higher. And 1 inch higher. And 1 last inch higher. And then relax all the way to the mat. Let it all go. As you're ready, roll over to your back. However makes sense to you. Soles of the feet come to the earth. Scoot the soles of the heels as close as you can to the bottom. And so, take your attention to the pelvis and pretend like it's a bowl. So you've got this bowl and here it is. And you can either tilt it forward so that any water in the bowl would dump out forward, or you can tilt it backward and water would dump out backward. So here, we're going to tilt the pelvis backward, so kind of tucking your tailbone is the action we're going for. So that your low back really presses into the mat. From here, from this position of tilting the pelvis back, we'll start to lift the hips. And maybe they lift a few inches, maybe they lift several inches, but just finding this action without too much effort in the first one.